everyone, it's Alex on the block and welcome to a new Journal with Me video. So recently I've actually organized all of my Goodreads shelves, and since it's spooky season, it inspired me to actually make a journal spread for some of my favorite horror books, and I thought I could share them with you guys. So in this spread, I have a lot of the book covers of some of my favorite books, and then of course photos of my favorite movies, mainly Conjuring and The Haunting of Hill House. Well, actually, The Haunting of Hill House isn't actually a movie, it's a horror series, but yeah. If you guys don't know, I actually love the Conjuring universe a lot, and of course Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor actually, which came out last year, I believe. My favorite genre of horror, like both in movies and books actually, is like the classic haunted house feel. That's what I love. And then I also have some pictures of Tommy on the spread and some retro horror pictures, like the girl who is running away from the ghost or the monster, something like that, and some ghost illustrations. So anyway, on to the books. So these books, I didn't actually rate all of them 5 stars, but they're all very memorable to me. Like, I still remember the feeling that I got from reading them, or even like the plot or the characters in them. So the first book is Bunny, which is such a weird book. Let me tell you, I can't describe it. Like, it's just so strange and yet so memorable and so fun to read. So it's essentially about this girl who is in, like, she's a grad student, I believe, or like an undergrad student. And then in her class, there is this clique who calls themselves the Bunnies, and they're like a secret organization between themselves. And then one day, the Bunnies invite her to like their secret writing session, and that's where she discovers a lot of things, but also she doesn't understand a lot of things. So yeah, it's just very strange and so good, and yes, I still don't understand it, but yet it's memorable. And then the next book is the work of a famous horror manga author who is Junji Ito, and it is Uzumaki. So this is the first work of Junji Ito that I actually read, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because to me this is the best one out of all the ones that I've read. However, this is the grossest one. So essentially this book is about a town that is haunted by spirals, and if you don't understand how a town can be haunted by spirals, well, you should read this book. But also, like, there's a lot of body horror. It's very, very disgusting and yet so good. Like, it is weirdly addictive. And then the next book is the Tokyo Zojac Murders, which weirdly like reminds me of that like video where the chocolate is like cut, and then when they like assemble it back together, the chocolate looks like its original shape. Like, it's so strange. It's like mathematics. But yeah, this book is so good. So basically this is about the murder of an artist, and also how the murderer chopped up his daughter and 6 other members of his family. And essentially it's like an infamous cold case, and this person, like in the future, has had an interest in solving it. And yes, it's just so good. What a compelling mystery. And then the next book is a middle grade, and it is City of Ghosts, and it's about Cassidy Blake, who is the daughter of like a ghost hunting team on television. And the thing is, she herself can actually see ghosts and has like a best friend who is a ghost. So this is a series, and each book is set in a different haunted location, and the first book is set in Edinburgh, Scotland, and it is just like an atmospheric and just generally quite good series for middle grade. So yes. The next book is a lyrical masterpiece. Let me tell you, the writing in this book is just so beautiful and so powerful and just so amazing. And this book is A Dowry of Blood, and I'm sure a lot of people have spoken about this. Like, if not, more people should. But yes, it's one of my favorites. I actually read this in one sitting while I was waiting in the bank, and I just couldn't stop reading. It is so good. And basically, it is about Dracula's brides, and there is polyamory representation, and it spans several thousands of years, I believe. And it's so good. Like, it's in the perspective of the girl, like Dracula's first bride in the book. I don't know if she's actually Dracula's first bride, but yeah, she's the first bride in the book. And yes, it's written in a way where she's talking to Dracula while like the book progresses, and it's just so good. Like, yes, believe me when I say this is one of the best books that I've read. I don't know if I actually gave this 5 stars, but yes, there's still some lacking, but in general, so good. Like, yes, even if you don't like the story, you would enjoy the writing style. So this next book is set in 1950s Mexico, and it's basically about this glamorous debutante who receives a message from her newlywed cousin who lives in the countryside, like in like a gothic manor in the countryside. And so she goes there to check up on her cousin, who is obviously like freaking out in the letter. But when she got there, things are strange, and yes, it's just a very, very fun and creepy gothic novel, and I highly, highly recommend it. And then the last one is a graphic novel, and this graphic novel is entitled Fangs, and it's about this vampire and this werewolf who are in a relationship, and it's just very funny, and I don't know if it's relatable because they're like their problems are vampire and werewolf specific, but this is a very, very, very cute read, and I absolutely enjoyed reading it. Like, I read it in one sitting. It's just so good. So those are some of my favorite horror books. If you can, just open up my Goodreads, and I'll probably be adding more as I go through my TBR this October. Obviously, I'm aiming to read a lot of spooky books, so I'm very excited. Again, thank you very much for watching, and if you've reached the end of this video, comment your favorite horror book or comment a spooky emoji, and I will see you in the next one.